Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. I don't know when this is going to post. But anyways, I'm at the gallery. My precious Savia coffee in hand. And I just felt like, I don't know, I just wanted to get your overall opinion. So comment down below if you have had this experience or not. But I have had COVID, and not recently. It was a while ago. And I've always been kind of squirrely. But like, I was trying to have a conversation with my girlfriend this morning, and I was talking to her about one thing and squirreled over to another thing that got me on another tangent, which isn't unusual. However, I could not for the life of me remember what the point of what I was going towards. I literally had to get off, rewatch my Polo. We use Marco Polo, which is a video app. It's really handy. I mean, we both live in the same town, but it's really handy because you can talk about what you want to talk about and the other person and see each other. So you have that ability to see each other almost like it's an in-person conversation, but it's not. And so it's a handy app. But anyways, I'm squirreling off. I realize this. But anyways, so I had to go back and rewatch my original Polo to be triggered by what it was that I was trying to share with her. And I just feel like it's happening to me more and more often. Now, yeah, I'm 55, but really that stuff doesn't start to happen yet. I mean, not like to this point where it's like frustrating the heck out of me. And so I wanted to know if anybody else has experienced what I'm going to call the COVID brain, where you lose what you're doing or track of something. The other day I came home, I had paintbrushes in my hand and I was going to go put them in the studio, and somehow I ended up in the living room and then into the kitchen with them, and I was like, wait, why am I here with these paintbrushes? Maybe it's just me. But I thought I'd come out to you guys and ask you this question, since it's a broader range of people and I can get a variety of input. So anyways, COVID brain or old brain, or getting old brain? Don't like the sound of that. Anyways, so that's my question. The other thing is, I am hoping today to be able to do some arting on the go. So we'll see if it depends on how busy the gallery is. So my thought was to do some art while I'm at the gallery. Now, this won't be a traditional arting on the go. It'll be a little different. So I'll just be able to do a little bit of arting, as I'm waiting for potential customers to come in and when I have little bits of time. So it won't be a big setup. So really it's, finding the time to art when you're just in rest is also something that works really well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be actual arting. It could be like preparing fodder for arting, that kind of stuff. So, each evening I have been just doing, taking some watercolor pencil or some paint pens to an old vintage 1930s book. The book pages are so high in cotton fiber, it's incredible. It absorbs a ton of liquid. And I've just been as I'm getting ready for bed, getting in, with this book, I have it now by my bedside, kind of permanently, and I just grab a handful of whatevers, paint pens, watercolor pencils, like I've said before, Stabilo, Sometimes I grab a gel stick, whatever suits me that day. And just before I'm, you know, like getting ready to snuggle down, I just take 5-10 minutes and I just doodle in it. And I've shared some of those pages up on my Instagram, and maybe I'll share some here for you to see. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, taking the time to just do when you only have little spurts of time here and there, and it has to be small. It can't take up a big footprint. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, that this Arting on the Go will be primarily about that. Taking those moments, whether they're at home, in bed, or at your dining room table, but not your normal arting space, or you're at work and you're taking a 15-minute break, you know, that's a good time to do it. Or you're at a gallery, which for me is work, and you know, you just take a few minutes while it's quiet to do that. So I think it's all important, and again, leading to our daily practice. So one of my self-care methods is arting daily, because it helps my soul. It helps ground me, and gets me thinking more focused, and yeah, it does me good. Anyways, thought I'd share that with you too. Sorry, I got a little long-winded there, but you know, I'm feeling really passionate about it, and I think we all need to focus more on how to care for ourselves and our own mental health, because burnout is real. It's a thing. We're in a society of doers, and yeah, do. I mean, kids have attention spans of gnats these days because they're always doing, and so they get into this just being. That's why one of the things I enjoy about my days up here at the gallery is that I have a little tradition set up about just being and not necessarily doing, although right now technically I am doing. So, but I like to have my 15-20 minutes of just sitting here drinking my Savaya coffee and being at peace with my environment, and whether it's freezing like it is right now or warm, all is good. Anyways, let's see if I'm able to actually do little bits of art while I'm out and about today. You know, I haven't had the skills to doodle and talk at the same time in the areas that I've been in the last few days. So, because I am filming this over days, and little moments, snippets of time that I've had at different places. So right now I'm at my other job and I'm on my lunch break, and I am so shocked. I used to love to doodle, and somewhere along the line I got it in my head that doodling had to look a certain way. I think when all the Zentangle stuff came out, and it had to look perfect, and you know, and when I was in high school, I used to doodle all the time in a journal, a creative writing journal, and it was so low stress for me, and I loved it. And I haven't been able to do anything like that in a really long time because I feel like it's supposed to look a certain way. And I don't know, I started doing this and I told myself, just go, don't think. And I've been having so much more fun with it. And I'm not worried about the quality of the line or that it matches or any of that stuff. I'm just doing. And I really like that. It's so freeing, to the point where I've actually been considering doing some kind of doodling and doing the 100-day project again. I did it quite a few years ago, and I did it. It was a lot of work, and it was completely overwhelming. And I did it. I finished it, which was good. I mean, the final piece I haven't even finished. It's still hanging on my wall, but if I think about it, I'll put a photo of that in the upper right-hand corner, or up on the screen someplace. But yeah, it was very overwhelming. Usually when I set myself, when I decide I'm going to do something, make a decision that I'm going to do something, I do it, I complete it. But that's just how I am. It's like if I make a commitment to somebody that I'm going to do something for them, I follow through unless there's, no way that I can possibly do it, an emergency or what have you. But I've been thinking of maybe doing the 100-day project again and doing something like this, doodling, or 5-10 minutes every day. I think that would be a lot of fun, as long as I could not make it stressful and make all these requirements on myself, and not have it be whatever's available to me. Like this, it's whatever paint marker I could find, and this random Natural Awakenings magazine that was available to me in a pinch the morning that was going to be at the gallery, and I went to Savio Coffee, and this was in there. Some article caught my eye. I'm not quite sure what it was, but then I thought, oh, this is newsprint. This will be fun to use as fodder. I might as well use this to doodle on. And, this represents like 3 or 4, 5 to 15 minute sessions, It hasn't been the same amount of time.
each time that I have taken the opportunity to doodle. But it's hard to doodle and talk, I find. I wonder where that is. Oh, I don't know, because I have a hard time talking and arting at the same time. That's why I usually do my intros only, where I talk and then I shut up and just art, and then I do a voiceover, because I have a hard time arting and talking at the same time. So, anyways, I thought, well, that might be fun, just to get an old book and, you know, an old textbook. I have one. Make sure there's like 100 pages. And just pick a page each day and whatever I'm going to use to make a mark, and go to town and call it a 100-day project. So, anyways, that's my thought. I have to look it up and see when it is to see if it's something that I can do, because if it's gonna, I kind of feel like it has always conflicted with mixed media iCAD, or iCAD in general. So if you don't know about iCAD, that is something I've done through the years. I don't traditionally shared it on YouTube, except for little excerpts here and there. But the whole thing I usually have over on Instagram. But Tammy Garcia started that, and iCAD. And then she's always had these really awesome prompts, and then people create using those prompts on an index card, or iCAD, which is index card a day, for 61 days. Well, I always found them a little frustrating, the prompts, because I felt they were more geared towards illustrators and that kind of thing, and that I wanted to have some prompts that were more geared towards those of us in mixed media. And so I created the mixed media iCAD based on Tammy's original plan. I always suggest that, you know, people don't, you know, they don't have to do one or the other. They just have to do whichever they're led by that day, whatever the prompt is for that day. And it's kind of neat to see how it's evolved. But anyways, so I put out mixed media prompts each year for mixed media iCAD. So I do post the prompts here on my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in seeing more videos done of iCAD, then leave me a comment down below, and I will see about doing more videos of those. This shape, I don't know why it's, I've never used this shape before. This like backwards S shape. But it has been intriguing me lately. There's one the opposite direction. But this is definitely a way to exercise your artistic muscles, that are not too focused on supplies and time. So you can stop at any time. So it's a really good way, something you can do even when you're out from your normal space. Because now I've done this at the gallery, I've done this at home, like just before bed actually, because the last footage you probably just saw was me doing it from my bed, with my pajamas on and everything. And now I'm at work, on my lunch break. So definitely don't have to have, you know, a lot of time. You don't have to have a lot of supplies. You definitely don't even have to finish or even have an idea of care in the world of what you're gonna do. You just put down and move your hand. So yeah, I think it's fun. I feel like I'm rediscovering some of my youth, that's for sure. And then this would be really good collage fodder. Just rip it up and use what imagery you like at the time. I think my red pen's running out of paint. This is just a paint pen, a fine tip paint pen by an extra fine point Artistro paint pen. I really like these paint pens. Sometimes their nib is a little frustrating because it's not, okay, where's the, okay, see if I can get it in. It's like a little plastic point to it, and then the felt wicking nib is behind that. So sometimes if you get some paint that's dried in the nib, then it's frustrating. But usually, I've only had that problem with one of the ones I've done, used. So.